some of those characteristics happening and not happening. And you sometimes hear about it. I remember, I think I was watching a documentary, I think it was back in Arnold Schwarzenegger's Pumping Irons, where he actually described a bit his training process. And he said, he goes into training with a mindset, and therefore he can always do more. He always hits it harder, and he always challenges himself. So, and just knowing what you're doing, why you're doing, and therefore observing how you're doing and breaking it down a bit more makes even a simple, let's call it a simple activity like lifting weights, quite complex. And you will always do it a bit different, and therefore you're pushing it. Because what he obviously has to do, he has to hit muscles really hard in all different areas so they develop fully as possible. So you can't just do the same thing again and again. It would only go one way, and the rest of it would suffer. So it would not be a holistic approach. That's even more true in skateboarding, where you have very complex movements and you have to really break it down. You have to step by step, and you have to push yourself. And most of the things you do in skateboarding is actually failing. Yeah. So you're trying a lot of different things till you find that one wiggle pass through that gets you to the end and gets the actual result. And the one in the gym, to take another gym story here, is also that I was quite surprised. And it's interesting to see, and I don't know if you go to the gym and you see the same thing. I don't know, Troy, if you've noticed that. So I see two different types of people going to the gym. There's the people who you can see they're working harder on it. They're quite focused, and they look different already. They're quite a bit more about it, and their body builds look different because they're more into it. And then you get the sort of the casual gym goer, and it's not just that their body doesn't look or has the same results, and I don't know if they go more or less, and that's the difference in results. But it's also that you see them checking on their phone every 5 minutes. They don't even seem to be actually there and present in the moment when they do what they do.
You've made several really important points. One, you may think that people who are lifting weights, don't really have to focus on it. But you go to the gym and work with weights, and as it happens, I do too. And I have it's so funny because I've had exactly the same experience. When you look around, you do see two different kinds of people. When it comes to exercising with weights, form is really important. If you don't do it with the right form, you're not getting very much benefit. And you see some people who are intensely, just what you said, intensely focused on the form, and other people who are doing the same exercise, supposedly the same exercise, but their form is terrible. They don't either know or they don't care or something, and they're just not getting the benefit. It is always mentally draining to do deliberate practice in a way that's really helping.
So can I spin it to a business context? So one of the things that, and it sounds very kind of anecdotal, that a lot of the millennial generation really values lots and lots of training. They want personal development. They want that to be included as part of their overall compensation package. And equally, we get anecdotal evidence or stories that says, you know what, they really don't want to do the base work. They want to jump right in. They want to be promoted. They want to go. And I think that there's an opportunity to repackage how we in business, which is both kind of the employee and the business leaders, look at some of the base work that they're doing. So when you spend working as a graphic artist, retouching 1,000 photos, that's not grunt work that you're having to do because it's your first year. That is indeed building the foundation of skills that allows you to be a senior graphic artist somewhere down the line. And if we can reposition this as this is indeed an opportunity for you to do deliberate practice and actually up your skill, and to provide that feedback, to provide that, challenge just beyond where you are, we could actually reposition that whole thing from negative, you're asking me to do grunt work, to positive, you're actually helping me build the foundation that will launch my career in the future. Well, how do you think that fits?
Yes, absolutely. And I can tell you that I hear a lot from people about exactly this. Yes, what you're saying is absolutely true. And people who have been through it, I think, all understand the truth, the validity of what you're saying. The work you do in the entry level jobs uh, may seem like drudgery, but those who take the right approach to it's just what we were talking about earlier. Those who see it as something that they want to get better at and who focus on the details and are trying to learn, uh, will find when they look back that it was incredibly valuable to them. So, yeah, I think there is a great opportunity to do just what you said. In other words, frame it in a different way and probably uh, rearrange the procedure a little bit. Uh, I mean, I can imagine ways it could be done that would help remind people or show them in the first place that they are actually learning critical skills. And there would probably, one thing about the grunt work that all of us have been through at one point or another is that maybe we weren't getting a lot of feedback on it. Maybe it could be made much more efficient and effective if we did get more feedback on it. And everything we learn about millennials and Gen Z is that they at least say that they crave feedback. So there could be a great opportunity in this. Now, there's another angle to it that I hear a lot from people in different industries, and that is that technology is eliminating a lot of that grunt work. And to some senior people in the businesses, this is a real concern. For example, people at the big global accounting firms have told me that more and more of what they did when they were starting out, which was absolute grunt work, it was just detail, seemed like drudgery, but that's how they learned the business. That's how they learned what really made up the content of the substance of what they did. Well, technology now does more and more of that stuff and does it faster, cheaper, and better than human beings could do it. And their concern is, how are the young people we hire today going to learn the substance of this business, the nuts and bolts of what really makes it work, if they don't have to do that work? And we don't want them to do that work because the technology does it better. And it's going to take innovative thinking to train them, to give them those skills, because the world is changing and it's going to be a big challenge.